Hello, this is Eureka admin. Today I'm going to talk about the installation of the Con-70 ink converter. So from my observation, there are slightly, some of these are slightly different from each other, and mostly this is the new one I bought, like the new version. And when you try to install it, there's a large gap and it's very tight. And but for some other version, um, it's looser, so it goes in further. But I think, in my opinion, this is better because it's just tighter, and as you install it and remove it, this converter will wear down a little bit on the outside diameter. So the tighter it is, the more useful life you have. But even the loose one, this one is a loose one, but even the loose one, it's really tight, really. I mean, this is very tight. So I think this has no problem either. And by the time this wears out so much that you cannot install it anymore, by that time, I think the other mechanisms will break down. So you're gonna have to replace this converter anyways. This is the very reason why I don't want to develop piston filler, because they break down eventually and it's very difficult to reinstall and maintenance. For the converter, you can just throw this out and buy another one and you're ready to go again. Okay, so there has been a few report, like out of like 100, I think like one or two, it would leak sometimes. There would be some leak between these right here, and then the ink will overflow. And the reason for that is because you can see a parting line right here, because this is injection molded. So the molten plastics are forced inside the metal mold. So there has to be a parting line when the mold separates. And there's like a slight line here, like protruding, very small protruding line, and the other side as well. So because of those protrusions, when it's put together, it kind of interferes with the sealing, and the way this system seals is by sealing by the two surfaces of the inside diameter, the inside wall of the grip section, and the outside of the converter. That's how it seals. So it's airtight. But the inside surface of this grip section is perfect because it's precision machined. But because this one is not machined and just injection molded, the outside surface is not as precise as the machined one. So we have to do something about this if there is a problem. Mostly there isn't. So for those experiencing this problem, just find the parting line right here. It's wore down a little bit because this is used. You just want to like scratch it with your fingernail to reduce the parting line. Okay, and the other side as well. Repeat both sides, and then just insert the ink converter and just kind of like wear it down a little bit by just rotating each other. Just repeat this as much as it is needed. And then because this plastic is soft, like you can see how soft it is, maybe they made it this way so it will seal better. And softer plastics, okay, it will like it's softer, so it seals better. Because this material is softer, when you rotate inside here, only the outside wall of this converter will wear down, but the inside surface will, it will not wear down, because this material is significantly stronger material, and the PEEK is known for high abrasion resistance. So you don't have to worry about this inside surface wearing down. It's practically impossible. So just keep doing this, and you can already tell this is really tight, and you can imagine it's just impossible to blow here and push the air out through this tight surface. So that's one way to remedy this problem. And there has been other there's another quirk I have to address. So if you install the tight one, it's really hard to push all the way. I mean, if you can, you're very strong. Even I can't do that. So because of that, when you close the barrel, it actually will not screw in all the way. So right here, see? That's because the button of the converter is actually touching the end. So when you screw in further, the button is getting pushed, and when it gets pushed, it pushes the ink out. So initially the ink might well up too much here. That might be some annoyance. And one way to deal with that is, once you fill the ink up, you just push you drop the ink down, and then close the barrel, but you have to point it up. So, well, this will not 100% guarantee that this will not well up so much, but it will reduce the amount of welling. And once it wells and you normally write, it will just return to the normal level. And also, because this button is pushed, when you open it, it will actually suck up the ink here. So just some quirks of this pen. Yeah, you might ask why didn't you just drill more? Well, there was some limitation as to how deep I can do it. So that's that's just one of the quirks I have for this pen. I just couldn't do it all the way. There's just it was really hard. Well, anyways, what am I going to talk about? Oh yeah, I also want to talk about the difference between the. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about this. So you might ask, why didn't you make this pen like all the other pens, where the sealing surfaces are the inside of the converter and the outside of the nib housing at the end? And yeah, most people will have question about that, but I did the other way, like seal between the outside of the converter and outside of the inside of the grip section. I did it that way because to gain more durability of the grip section. So as you can see, this grip section is for the ebonite feeder, and you can tell that there is no housing. So if I were to use a bulk housing, the bulk housing would make the hole bigger by about this much. So it's this big right now, but when you use bulk housing, you have to make this bigger. That means you lose the durability here almost by 60%, 40% or so. Nearly 50% you lose durability. And the worst part is it narrows down. Usually the grip section narrows down to the lowest point here. And because the hole is bigger and this part is narrower, the actual wall thickness is drastically removed right here, and it becomes the weakest spot, theoretically. So I really don't like that kind of design. But so far there has been no like no damage report of that kind of design either for me. But I still don't like it. And because I intend to make these parts last practically forever, so I decided to do my old design, revive the old design, which is just don't use any housing. Just directly precision fit the nib and the feed, which is actually more difficult because everything has to be accurate within. It has to be accurate within 0.02 millimeters or half a thousandth of an inch. So this is actually, I say this is more precise, and because of that, this section is very strong. It will never crack. Okay, so because there is no housing, nib housing, the only way to seal between two surfaces is the inside of the grip section and the outside of the converter. So that's why this was the only way of sealing, achieving the seal. And because of that, the both surfaces has to be smooth without any protrusions and inaccuracies. And the Con-70 is perfect candidate for this kind of design because this material is soft here and thin. And so once you try to wear it down, you just break it in, it just achieves a perfect seal eventually. Okay, for those having the problems mentioned in this video, I hope this would solve most of your problems. Okay, thank you.